Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 5th, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation experiment with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift right when it comes out on January 5th. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we grow again. It is a magical Monday here in the studio as I record, and it's not just any magical Monday. It is December 21st, 2020, the winter solstice, and the grand conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter coming together in the sky to actually be closer than they have been in 800 years, I believe, somewhere 800 and some years. And some people are calling it like the Christmas star. Others are like, it's the coming age of Aquarius the age of Aquarius is upon us. And it is, what I love about it, and the timing of it is pretty cool considering what we've been through the last year. And it's sort of like, the two I think will look like one in the sky almost because they're so close together. Hence the Christmas star kind of idea. But what's great about it, whatever you assign to it, because I was listening, I'm certainly no great expert. I've gone deep down the rabbit hole on some of this stuff. I know the high level things about it. And I saw an astrologer talking about it who said, look, the age of Aquarius, some would say we already began that because it's such a big window. Others say it's like 200 years from now based off Vedic astrology. So it's sort of this, thing. He was saying, look, a lot of astrologers won't even refer to the ages like that because there's a lot of looseness in there, and that being said, I think what's great about something like this happening, it's obviously interesting, right? To land on the solstice. We're in this week of the year that's this very unique, energetic week before the beginning of the new year, and people's hearts tend to be more open. So I think it's really interesting looking at it through that lens that okay, this is happening. Hasn't happened quite like this in over 800 years. What meaning am I going to assign this? And it's just a great example of everything we talk about on the show. It can, what story are you going to spin around it? I love the idea of taking and, making it very meaningful. And I believe that, the stars, the astrology, I believe there's really something to it. Like you take any of the great, ideas or the I Ching and some of these fascinating divination methodologies that, when you start understanding, I think plant medicines really helped me to get a grasp of, hold on, when you're or through meditation or through, people who claim to channel, information can come through. So why would that not have happened with the stars in the past, which led to our current astrology? And because no one quite knows how, when, where it was all crafted, right? And it's kind of this mysterious thing. And if you think about it like that, like the shamans in the jungle who were told, oh, go get this, they're in ceremony and they're told, go get this plant and this plant, combine them together and give it to the sick person, and then they get well. It's like information can come from beyond the veil. And I would say some of that is transpired with astrology. And, it only makes sense. I mean, we know that the moon affects a woman's cycle, for example, or the tides on the earth. It is affecting. We can see the closest planetary body is affecting us. We can prove that. So it only makes sense that, sure, my left finger and right finger are very close, and we can see that they affect each other in some way. But also at a distance, my toe maybe affects that finger, or a nerve that runs somewhere else that's maybe far removed, but still having an effect. So I choose to tell the permission slip and use the permission slip that this is a great conjunction that is coming together to usher in this new, 2020 has been deep in the COVID chrysalis, where we're ready to shine and come out of our cocoon into the butterflies that we're meant to evolve into. And I would encourage you to maybe take on the same viewpoint, right? I mean, why not? So much. It's like, it's really interesting too when you look at placebo. I was doing some research for the book where I reference, I actually talk about the butterfly stuff. I talk about placebo for a minute, which is fascinating to me. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't registered to get the book for free when it comes out, you can go to goldenkey.gift to do that. And by the way, I think I took a little longer than I thought with editing. Instead of coming out on January 5th, it looks like it's going to have to be pushed back to, it gets to be pushed back to 1/11, so January 11th. So 1/1/21. Looks like that's not 100%, but it looks like that's what's going to be happening. I'll keep you guys posted. But it's such a incredible thing to be able to know that you can spin whatever's happening and understand that it actually has an effect. In the case of a placebo, it is like 30% or so of all medicinal, including not only just giving someone medicine and saying this will help you, but also surgeries. So isn't that wild that if you put someone under and tell them that they just had surgery and something was done, it's like 30% and nothing happened. They're going to get better. And in some cases, there were some serious studies shown, in some cases, way more than 30%. So it's a really fascinating thing to understand. This placebo thing really, what story are we telling has valid scientific data to back it up. So what story are we telling about everything that's happening? What story are we telling about COVID? What story are we telling about the Great Conjunction? This Grand Conjunction, what is the story that you're spinning? And I think it's the best time there's ever been to spin really, really good stories. The other thing that's really important to consider the other side of this, there's not only the placebo, there's the nocebo, which is the opposite. When you have the idea that something isn't going to work or shouldn't work or it's bad or whatever, same thing goes into effect, the same results, where it's like, oh, it works. It's following your beliefs. Everything is following your beliefs. So I'm excited to be entering this time where we all are celebrating and telling a great grand story about the Grand Conjunction, and that it is here to usher in the age of Aquarius, the bright, new, spiritual-centric time on planet Earth where, yes, things are going to crumble. Yes, old systems and old paradigms are going to fall apart, but that's something has to crumble in order for something new to be born, right? Just when the caterpillar thought its world was over, it became a butterfly. And that's exactly what we're going through right now. So I take this as a very, very good sign of something that's, ushering in some magic into all of our worlds in the most magical week of the year, in my opinion. And so it just definitely seems aligned. Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, Talkspace. As you know, we do everything we can on this show to help people shift their perspectives, to help them lead a healthy and happy life. But sometimes you just need someone to talk to. So if between the 24/7 news cycle, the pandemic, divisive politics and the holidays, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, well, you must be a human being. And if you feel like you need another human being that's a licensed therapist to talk to help you work through those emotions, Talkspace makes it super easy. You can sign up online or download the app and start therapy that same day with a licensed therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy. Depending on the plan you choose, you can message and schedule live video sessions with your therapist, and you'll pay the same amount every month. So it's super easy to budget. Of course, talking to a friend is definitely different from talking to a licensed therapist who has the expertise and knowledge to give practical guidance. Talkspace gives you great support at an affordable price. And as a Positive Head listener, you're going to get $100 off your first month. So to match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com or download the app. Make sure to use the code POSITIVEHEAD to get $100 off your first month. And that's POSITIVEHEAD, all one word, at Talkspace.com. I know some of you are like, there's so much uncertainty about what's to come and the state of the world and the political system crumbling and all these things. And it's like, what if you stopped being so concerned with what's going to come and what's going to come of you and where it's going to go, and just trust the process, trust the mystery, trust everything that is coming into your life. Spin it in a way where you see the silver lining. And you don't need to know it all. You don't have to have all the answers figured out. It's not necessary. I actually have this book here by Paul Selig called Alchemy. It's a channeled text. Actually, he's supposed to be coming on the show a few months back, and then we had to reschedule, so hopefully we'll be having him on in the new year. But yeah, especially I love his book is Alchemy, and my book is, The Golden Key, which subtitled is Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. So definitely resonating there. And I just happened to flip to the introduction. I haven't even had a chance to read this yet, but I know other than like spot reading here and there. So I'm feeling inspired to just pick it up and read a little bit. I don't know exactly how far I'll go or where this is going, but I saw, the very first introduction, day one. This is from a session that he did that's recorded. I believe it was with a live group, and it says day one introduction, and it starts out with, why do you ask questions? What will come of me? What will happen one day? How will I know if? What am I to do if? And I think that's what we were just talking about. So I think I'm going to read this just for a few minutes and just see what kind of insight I get and you get, and then I'll talk about what we heard. Why do you ask questions? What will come of me? What will happen one day? How will I know if? What am I to do if? When the moment you sit in is the only moment you may know. Everything else is conjecture, barely an idea. You summon opportunity to grow, to learn in the moment you sit in. And each moment is the opportunity to know the presence of the divine that is always here. Underline, always. There's never a moment without the presence of the divine. Although your availability to it, through personality, persona, identity, may be diminished by your fear, by your idea of what is so, and the importance you give to an outcome that has not yet come. Each of you here, in your own way, have come to be sung in a new voice. This is a new term, but it's an important one. Sung in a new voice, beyond the echo or residual effect of personality that you have determined so steadfastly must be who and what you are. Now the dismantling of persona is a process, and we don't make personalities wrong. You have one, it's yours, but it is not you. And that is the key to the teaching. You have one, it is yours, but it is not you. And the claim you make, I know who I am, is a decree of truth when comprehended as what it has always been, the announcement of being. Put it that way, the announcement of being. I have come. Now, realization, the unfoldment toward realization, is not only a process, and it's an opportunity to dismantle personality. But understanding what personality is and why you invest in it will be of importance to you here. Your guarantee when you are born is that you have blood in your veins, a heart that beats, and a mind that may know. Nothing else is guaranteed. You're not guaranteed a marriage or a career. You believe you should have these things, but they are not guaranteed, nor are they why you were born. You came to realize, through encounter, through opportunity, perhaps through obstacle, the truth of who and what you are that exists beyond the shell, beyond the mask of personality that you have claimed as you. Now, because you are choosing to be born, and in fact, you have chosen, you must understand that the true self as you, who knows who he is, will always claim the opportunity for growth that is before him. Now, some of you decided when you are born, that there will be a testament to the life that has been lived. You have come for a specific reason, to bring forth a specific quality, to know the self through certain encounters. And you must understand that each of you who comes in his or her own way is contributing to the whole by nature of your presence here. As the divine informs each aspect of self is called into being in a higher way. A transition occurs, and what you thought you were is actually released to become the truth of your expression. I have come, I have come, I have come. Now, the dismantling of persona, while a process, is actually joyful. Once you understand that all you are releasing is an idea of who you have been, were told you were, think you are, and should have been, simple ideas, they have been so weighted, so agreed to, that they have weighed you down. And the testament to this is the vibratory accord that you base your experiences through. You base your experience through the agreement to the low octave that you have been aligned to. And the guarantee of this, the promise of this, is evidenced by everything you see. You are always being taught the level of vibratory accord that you have come to through what you see, how you see it, and how it is interpreted by you. Agreement, we mean as accord, A-C-H-O-R-D, on a piano. As you are now sung in a collective agreement, a species, if you wish, invoking reality, you can understand that everything that is being claimed by the collective to grow through. This may not be apparent, but it is always so. Now, you may call a hard lesson. You may choose difficulty in order to grow through. And as you continue to force things, the agenda of the ego, the mandate of personality, the choice to be what you say you must be, contrary to your true nature, the evidence of your agreement to struggle amplifies what you see. Humanity has claimed great struggle, a great denial as the divine claims itself as a struggle. When the divine is reknown in any instance, struggle is released. Each of you decides in a singular way what you may claim beyond the collective. But your ideas of what may be claimed are completely informed by the collective, and the collective is testament to the beliefs in separation that has been accrued by it. As we teach you, we sing to you, and the voice we sing is not the voice of Paul, but the voice of Paul as translated in a high octave. In other words, the vehicle we sing through is in translation already to be able to sing with our language and our tone. In fact, you each are being re-articulated in just such a way. But as this occurs, the denial of the divine, which you are participatory to, is shown to you clearly, and you are given opportunity to release the aspect of self that would define the self as separate from its source. Now the decree we offer you, the truth is here, I am in truth, I am known in truth, and I know in truth, will counter many things. To align to truth, to agree to be as truth, is to agree to be the true self at the cost of the evidence that would be contrary to this. And by that we mean those things that would decide that they cannot be of God, will not be of God, could never be of God. When you face the shadow, you may look into the shadow, but you must understand that even as shadow, there is light permeating it. What creates the shadow is the denial of light. But because light is all things, light must also include shadow. So there's nothing outside of the light except that which is placed there. All right, cool. I'm glad I decided to do that a little spontaneously here. It is, this book, I definitely look forward to maybe reading more from it sometime, or you guys can check it out. Once again, it's Alchemy by Paul Selig. And what he's getting at is such a profound way to start it off. Like, hey, wake up. All this persona you're tied up in, all the story you're tied up into that hasn't served you, right? Let that go. We started off talking about, hey, spinning a story in a good way. And then the nocebo version where you've told the story of, oh, the holidays are bad for me. Or I am this thing, this person who is defined by this job or this bad relationship or these children who are challenging or on and on and on and on and on. The stories that we weave tied to experiences that we've had that in no way define or even come close to touching the true self of who and what we actually are. And when you can start to really get honest with yourself about who the true self is and seek and call that in and look in that direction, guess what? It starts to peek out from behind the clouds of these tales you've woven that aren't really serving you anymore. Woo! I know we're all going to have an incredible rest of the holiday season, whether you're with tons of family and it's easy. And if it's not easy, you're especially impressive because your soul signed up for the exact conditions that you're in. And you weren't promised an easy life, like he said, but you were promised the tools to get through it and come out bigger and better because of all of your experiences. And you have all of us that are tuning into this podcast. We are all a soul fam, our own little soul fam of sorts, connected through the energetic thread that is the Positive Head podcast. It's not my podcast, it's our podcast. And I couldn't be happier to experience this with you and to grow with each and every one of you. And I do have a song to leave you guys with. This song I heard a few years ago. It's hard not to bring tears to my eyes, like hearing this song, because it's like this guy, this incredible voice singing about missing his mother at Christmas. And it's just, it's such an emotional, beautiful song. And, it's one of those things where it touches that part in all of us that we're going to all, if we haven't lost our mother, one day we will, or maybe you've lost someone else that, you care about just as much. And that's the beautiful thing about this life. It's in the end, we came here so we could experience the hurt at times, and understanding that and being brave and facing that, boldly. That is beautiful. And, I think of the Rumi quote. He says, "This place is a dream. Only a sleeper considers it real. Then death comes like dawn, and you wake up laughing at what you thought was your grief." Imagine bringing that energy in now. Not saying to deny any hardship or pain, but accepting it and loving it, knowing that it's the sweet is never quite as sweet without the sour. And we need the shadow, like he was talking about here, touching on the shadow is a part of the light. They're necessary for the other to exist. Wishing you all the best and brightest, most magical rest of your week. Here is Mother Christmas by Andara. Till next time, journey well. Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code POSITIVEHEAD for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ISHOPPURIUM.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
Hello, dear mother. How goes the up and running? How are you doing? How is that infamous back pain? I'm out here wondering. I'm yet to find my footing, but I'm trying to work it out. This adulthood takes some practices. Oh, I want my mother here for Christmas. Oh, it's been 3 years and oh, I miss her. Oh, I want my mother here for Christmas. Oh, it's been 3 years and oh, I miss her. Well, I miss her. Well, I miss her. I met this woman. She broke my heart into pieces. And my employer, he's a bit of a dickhead. You'd find some humor in all this misery I'm in. And I am a grown man, but never took one for your kisses. Oh, I want my mother here for Christmas. Oh, it's been 3 years, I know I miss her. Oh, I want my mother here for Christmas. Oh, it's been 3 years and oh, I miss her. Well, 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 I miss her. Will I miss her? Will I miss her? Will I miss her? Will I miss her? Oh, I want my mother here for Christmas. Oh, it's been 3